course, the holidays are a time for bonding and relaxing with family and friends. So why are so many people stressed out and frazzled? So many of us are. Well, Dr. Carm Sebastian is here with advice on how to survive the holidays and to try to make it a cool Yule, you know, stress-free.
Yes.
Is that really possible?
It is really possible, but you have to be very deliberate about it.
Okay.
So you can't just expect it to be that way, because you know what happens. You end up at the end very unhappy with your experience.
That's right. Okay, so be very proactive about, okay, this is a simple thought. Sticking to your normal routine.
Yes, this is so critical because our bodies like habit and we like routine. And so what you're eating, try to stick as much to that. I mean, you can go 80-20. You can be crazy 20% of the time, but that 80%, you got to keep doing what you've been doing.
But you know that it's almost impossible, Dr. Carm, because the holidays, everywhere you go, people are shoving sugar and cookies and candy and treats.
Right.
And,
there's a secret word. It's called no. No. Okay, you have
a hard word to say.
You have to say no and then put thank you, and then it's really the holidays.
Right.
But I think the important thing to do is there's little tactics like don't go to a party hungry. Pick a small plate. Take the things that are lower fat. I mean, there's ways to do it.
Sure. And also keeping your normal exercise routine.
That is so important because, you know, we need those endorphins. And once we stop exercising, we're not sleeping properly, and we have all this stress, it just is a bad vicious cycle.
Okay, you also say to manage your family. What do you mean by that?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Well, you know what? If Uncle Henry shows up at the house every holiday season and gets completely plastered and drops red wine on your white rug, after the second or third time, you kind of have to make a different arrangement with Uncle Henry.
Like don't invite him?
Well, you know what? I'd love to spend time with you. We'll meet you at Carrabba's.
Okay.
You know, that type of thing. Let them clean up his mess. But, I mean, you really have to manage that. Again, you know, give yourself the right to say no and say, this is just not good for me. It's the same thing I talk about in the book about toxic people. You've got to keep that toxicity out, and especially at the holidays.
That's right. Also, managing your time is important.
Yes, I make lists about lists. So make lists. Stick to a budget.
It's a little extreme, Dr. Carm, don't you think?
I am an extreme human being. But I stick to a budget. I've only gone over a little bit this year. I haven't gone over too much. So, you know, give yourself some really good ways to manage your time. Do the Cyber Monday. Go and shop online. The traffic this morning getting here was crazy, and it was in the morning when we were not even doing shopping. So traffic picks up. Try to understand that and anticipate.
Anticipate it. Okay. And we talked about this a little bit, but it's important to emphasize. Make healthy choices when you're at these holiday parties or office parties or whatever.
Yes, and you know, one of the things I think people forget sometimes is when you're at an office party or a work party, it doesn't mean that you can be totally social. You have to remember you're at work. So don't get, you know, really drunk. Drink a lot of water before you go. Do a glass of wine, red preferably, and then a glass of water. Mix it up.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, now you have a special little acronym to help us remember all of these tips that she's giving us
which
today.
is PACE.
Okay.
So pace yourself, P-A-C-E. So P is prepare.
Okay.
You want to do ahead things. Like for Thanksgiving, I ordered from Publix. I mean, why not?
Sure.
Right? Anticipate is A. So in other words, anticipate Uncle Henry. Make sure you work around that, or the same thing is going to happen again. Kids and their meltdowns, what your schedule is like. C is customary. Stick to your routine. Like we said, sleep, eat properly, and enjoy.
Enjoy. That's the bottom line.
Remember what the holidays are about and stick to that.
Absolutely. Dr. Carm, great advice.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you, too.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back when we throw over to Cindy. There you go, Cindy.